Hi Capricorn, welcome to your reading. So when I tuned into your energy and I started pulling cards for you, I started getting this quite intense headache actually. And so I feel that you are going through some huge shifts and changes. I'm hearing to your upper level. Uh, it might mean that there are some changes happening within your physical brain. I do see that actually a little bit in the cards, so we'll talk about that. But I feel like this may also be related to kind of like your crown, like either your third eye or your crown. And a lot of the times, the crown can also talk about our old value system, our old authorities, what we used to look up to. So there might be some huge change in regards to that as well. But let's look at the cards though. You got the lizard and the panther together with the fish. And so what I actually do feel is that these cards are talking about two different parts of your brain. It's almost like they're talking about the two different hemispheres of your brain. But in some weird way, I also feel like they may be talking about the relationship. It's almost as if you have some type of relationship with a specific person, or maybe even several people around you that have been kind of reflecting you, mirroring you, helping you to change yourself in different ways. And yeah, it's changing your brain, like it's changing your physiology in some way. So let me just share what I'm seeing in these cards here. Lizard and the panther. To me, the lizard always reminds me of that part of our brain that is called or nicknamed the lizard brain. It's the part that deals with our fight or flight system. And so it's an area within our brain that is like it developed within the lizard, within the dinosaur, millions and millions of years ago. But we still hold that and use that technology today. And so it's like, I feel with the panther here, because the panther oftentimes talks about like becoming aware of things that was previously hidden in the dark. It's like going into your internal world, into your jungle, and starting to become aware of your inner workings. And so for some of you, I think that this may actually mean that you're starting to, it's like understand the different parts of your time, in a sense, the layers of time that is our brain. And I feel like, honestly, it's like you're starting to make more friends with it. I'm hearing for some of you, you're starting to ride the dragon. So there is something about that, like using your emotions, seeing your emotions as portals into time, and using them more consciously to take you back into your own root system, into the root system of your body, your physicality, how it has been manifested through millions and millions of years, and then kind of using that as a ride to take you back into time and into history to really expand your perception of reality. That's what I'm feeling. So it's a very powerful energy. It's a very cool energy. It's an energy of expansion, bringing light to the dark. So of course, this can, like in your individual life, this can mean so many different things for you. One of the things that I see coming through very clearly is that you're going to look at your fear in such a different way. It's like it's not going to be, it's almost as if you're going to look at it with awe instead of looking at it and just like hissing, just being like, go away. But instead you're going to be like, these are my roots. Why am I trying to cut myself off from my roots? Something like that as well, I feel, for some of you. And then we have the fish. And I feel like The fish is a much more kind of feminine vibe. I feel like it's almost like this is the right hemisphere of the brain, you know. It's much more fluid, it's much more fueled by imagination, by being connected to the subconscious. This is the ocean, you know, this is you swimming in the ocean. And in a similar way to what I was picking up on here, it's like that you're starting to realize that this lizard is a part of your root system. And so instead of seeing it as something that is kind of here to destabilize you or to attack you, you're seeing it as part of you. I feel something similar with this. It's almost as if you've been swimming in the ocean for the longest time, just like learning about the ocean, you know, like receiving all of these imaginations and visions and guidances and all of that. And suddenly you're realizing that you are also the ocean. It's a really cool feeling. It's like suddenly it's like you've reached this new level, so that you have become the ocean. It's like your consciousness has grown to the point that you're actually now feeling yourself as well, like as the ocean, as well as the fish. So it's a really, really cool energy. And like I said, I feel like this has some kind of relationship component to it. I'm feeling actually that these two different hemispheres of the brain, or these two different people could also be, are coming into union. And so it's like, yeah, I'm just hearing it's gonna change everything. So I feel like for some of you, you may be going through this right now, that your brain is changing. It's like you've been doing a lot of spiritual work and exploring this, you know, your inner time, what you are as a body. You've been exploring it, and now it's like through that constant feeding of these parts of your brain with your own blood, like just like using them a lot, and so feeding them a lot with your blood, it's like they have grown, and now it's like they're entering into this new phase. Union state. It's like both the hemispheres working together in union. And so that is just really, really cool. Could also mean that you are coming into state of union with people in general in your life, because again, it's like you're building this clear eye. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, you're actually awakening like your third eye to a different level, and also there are changes happening to your crown. So I think like it's gonna change a lot of things for you actually. Interesting. I pulled out this deck, and for some reason I had one of these animal cards in there, and it was the bee. And so I feel like maybe you want to watch Pisces reading. Actually, it came through there. But also there's something about like you need to give yourself space and time to be as well, and let your body, your physiology, like it's like your body has to go through some certain steps, and that has to happen when you are in a relaxed state. Like if you're stressing around, if you're using all of your blood on different parts of your body, it's just not going to be abundant enough, is what I'm getting, within these cells to go through the transformation. So there is something also about allowing yourself to just relax and be if you feel like it. Whoa, let's pull some cards. I wasn't ready. Let's see what comes through here for Capricorn. Oh, interesting. Wow, so underneath the deck was the Emperor. Yeah, I definitely feel something like that, what I said. It's something also about letting the old crown die, letting what you have looked up to in the past. I feel like this is related to the old masculine archetype, actually, because it's the sun. You know, I'm filming this a few days before the Leo full moon, and I feel like that full moon is just like the end of an era of a specific type of masculinity. It's like an old form is dying, or is starting to melt away, is what I'm hearing. And so there's something about that as well, that this transformation, to go through this and step into this state of union, yeah, that old form of separation was what I was hearing, needs to go. So there's something about that. You may need to reflect on that, I feel, to really understand what this is about for you. Hermit came out, 4 of Cups, 8 of Swords. For some of you, you may have to initiate something, actually, for this union to come into effect. It's almost like there has to be some kind of will, like you have to will it into being, because I feel like it is like you're calling to call in this state of union. You have to call in a new masculine archetype, and the masculine archetype is about will. You know, if we don't have the will to create changes in our lives, we are not going to be the director of our lives. You know, we're not going to be that emperor. We just don't have the energy. We're too poor energetically. And so it's like, then we're just taken with the current. You know what I mean? We're just taken with whatever exists within the current moment. But if we have a will, if we have like a pointed finger, we say this way, this way, this way, then it's like we can initiate change. And so there's something here, I feel, for some of you, that you might need to will something, just ignite something. It's like to get yourself out of this state of, there's something here with the fear, that it's taking you over, that you're not fully understanding it, or there is some lack of light within specific parts of your being. Maybe this is also you willing, like asking to be a shaman, or asking to open up to those abilities, because the panther, a lot of the times it is associated with shamanism. And I remember when the panther came through for me, it was actually after I've done this journey session with a woman that she had been initiated by a Sami shaman, you know, which is part of the native population of Norway. And so I feel like that might be something for some of you, that maybe you need to be initiated by natives. They're like the native people, I feel like in the years to come are going to start to play a more important role in our communities, because they have a lot of this light, this power. It's in their cells, you know, it's part of their inheritance, and so they can initiate people. So I don't know, there might be different messages for a lot of different people, but again, you know, this is talking about going back to the roots of the land, the roots within yourself, and there is something there. So let's see if we can get some more here. Also with the Hermit, it's like pulling in, you know, he's pulling into his own shell to look at it. But I feel like it's almost something like, but his light is still outside of him. So there's something about like that he needs to pull it in. He needs to pull it in. Yeah, there is, and I feel like this has something to do with your will, that there is something you haven't asked for, something you haven't initiated yourself into, You may not feel ready to do that yet, but why? I don't know why. Let's see if we can find out, because I also feel like when you do, that's when you're gonna start to realize that you're not just a fish like swimming in the ocean. You're gonna start to realize that you are also the ocean. So it's just gonna make you feel so much more home, like here on earth in your life, and so much more, I'm hearing, capable. Yeah, this is definitely some kind of spiritual development, and it's huge. So don't worry if you don't understand it yet. You will. Like, if you have a will, you will understand it. You will find a way. You will figure it out. Also with the bee, you know, don't be afraid to let time pass if you're not sure yet. Also, something about working with the lizard, don't activate it. So like, don't be desperate for this change to happen, because then you're just going to be activating the lizard and the blood is going to flow to that area of your body. So it's better than to just surrender it and go with the flow and just accept that right now you're not in that kind of union powerful state, but one day you will. You know, it's just like you may just need to just get to know yourself a bit better, like get to know your inner workings just a little bit better. Let's see, anything else for Capricorn here? So I'm hearing something about the relationship now. So see if there's anything about that. Yeah, that's so funny. 2 of Cups, and the 8 of Wands, and then the Ace of Wands. Yeah, I'm also getting like, because sometimes I don't believe in these messages that I hear. It's like, yeah, whatever. But then when the cards always, almost always the cards seem to back it up. And so it's something about that as well, that maybe you've been receiving a lot of messages, but you haven't been believing in it. But then suddenly something comes out that kind of like backs up exactly what you've been receiving, the guidance and the messages you've been receiving, and you're like, oh shit. It's almost like with the lightning here, that there is some kind of switch. Maybe this is what it is. Maybe the switch is going to be in regards to a relationship. Maybe that's going to really just like, oh shit, like it's true. Like what I've been feeling, what I've been seeing, what I've been like exploring, it's true. I feel like that for some of you, that might be the case. And oh yeah, and I'm hearing the start of a new era. Wow, look how beautiful this Ace of Wands is now. Yeah, it looks so radiant. It's like the old light is being swallowed by this black hole. It's like that old way of separation, and now it's like union coming forth, and it's abundant with flowers, and it's just like radiating. That's so cool. Also underneath the Ace of Wands was the 6 of Pentacles. So kind of another card of union, of like being in balance, equal give and take. So I feel that also with the body. If you feel like you're not quite on this point yet, working with establishing an inner balance in your body, I feel it's important. Like I talked about with the blood flow to the different parts of your body. So give time for the development of the cells in your brain as well, you know, through meditation, through like letting yourself daydream, things like that. It does build, like naturally, it does build and strengthen those connections when we do that. So and this is something that actually has been observed in scientific studies and things. So I think I read this study. There was a study where they looked at people that were doing mindfulness practices, And what they found was that after they did regular mindfulness practice, actually one of the parts of the amygdala significantly shrunk. And so it's something like that part, that fear-based part within them just became smaller. And another part within their prefrontal cortex, it started receiving more blood flow and it started kind of expanding. I believe that were some of the results, at least. So yeah, for some of you, I just think that you're going to come into a period of time when you're realizing that it is true. Like, you're starting to actually believe in the practices that you've been doing, and you're starting to get results from it. So that's also cool. And also, when I look at the Two of Cups now, it does remind me of these two hemispheres within the brain. And then there is this area that connects the two. I think it's called corpus callosum. And if I'm not mistaken, that would translate to like the giant body. You know, it's like corpus is body, I believe, and colossum is like colossal or huge. And so I feel like for some of you, it's almost like you're stepping into your giant era. It's like, yeah, you become part of these giants now, the people that, you know, it's like they can ride dragons. They are so connected to their root system. They communicate with their roots, you know, they're shamans. They understand the land and the root and the history and the animals, and it's like they have that internal connection to that layer of reality. And they're also just like so kind of watery and in tune with the ocean and with the feelings and with the feminine. And I'm hearing the Divine Mother. Yeah, that's cool. Everyone has Capricorn in their charts. I feel like this is something that a lot of people will do in the future. But for those of you that have planets, a lot of planets in Capricorn, it's like you're kind of the way showers for this development, I feel. I am hearing it came to you first. So let's see, anything else? I'm feeling a lot of love coming from that relationship. Yeah, oh my god. And I'm hearing, and a child. So it's some kind of like a new, it's a new beginning, you know, that, yeah, the Daughter of Pentacles is the new earth. You know, the pentacle is the element of earth, and all of the daughters, so all of the pages are earth. So it's like the new earth. And underneath the deck was the Mother of Wands. And then I'm also seeing the Fool here. Oh, and the Lovers behind the Fool. And so I'm just feeling like it's like the masculine energy within you or within another is the one that needs to initiate. I'm hearing himself. So for some of you, you may not have initiated yourself yet. If you want to walk onto this path, I feel like you need to. You need to take the chance, step into the unknown, start shedding, start shedding your old ego, start shedding your old identity. This is about like tuning into your soul, you know, becoming bigger, becoming more than just your one life in a sense. And I feel like to do that, you kind of have to be comfortable to connect to the zero state, you know, the nothingness. And you have to be comfortable with being seen as a zero, you know, because I feel like this journey at first, people won't understand it. You know, if you suddenly start going through this, it's like most people won't understand it. So that's for some of you. But then the Mother of Wands, I feel like this is more like a feminine energy within you or maybe within another. And she is very much protecting the eggs. Like, I'm feeling a lot of unconditional love here. But also fierceness. Yeah, this is someone that she's not going to give up on the potential for the future. You know, she's not going to give up on this new earth, on this union, is what I'm hearing, on this child. And I'm hearing, and she's willing to wait. So that's kind of interesting. I'm feeling like these, yeah, there are some very powerful energies at play here. And I feel like you may be feeling them within yourself. You may be observing them within others. But there is definitely a lot of potential. So I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.